Yo,
P.
we're here. Dude, this feels weird. It's been a while. We're live.
Get
Baby.
everything trying to set up here.
Yeah.
It beats when I did it with Dick and Sutton. About the first 5 minutes of the show, I didn't realize that I didn't have my microphone on.
That's because you didn't go through the pre-checks with me.
No.
See, I'll leave 1 week and everything goes down.
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. We are excited to be here.
I'm just getting my stuff together. Eating a sandwich.
Yeah. Hey, while we're waiting, we have a 10% off sale right now on our merch. All baseball shirts except the new Pete shirt because
that was already discounted.
That's right. We set the prices down as low as we possibly could. We were making zero money on that shirt. So every other shirt is on sale. And go check it out. bonfire.com/store/to-the-top-top.
I'm going to take this back over here.
Oh, already getting some comments in.
Yeah, I'll tell you, before we get to those, let's go ahead and just so we just left Reed Green Coliseum.
Yep.
Southern Miss comes out victorious tonight. 78-73 was the final. I know at one point we looked up and we were like, it's 75 win it, and as it turns out, 75 would have won it. But we ended up with 78 points to 73 from Old Dominion. Worst officiating that I've ever seen. And it's hard for me to say the worst officiating that I've ever seen because
it's pretty bad.
Like every week they just one up themselves. I don't get it. I don't understand. And in simple calls like the ball bouncing on the out of bounds line.
Yep.
That's not me being fanboy. That's me watching the ball bounce off the directly on the foul line. And the refs really lost. They lost it early.
Yeah.
And it continued out through the entire game. Southern Miss, I don't know. Something about these guys at home. What's that make us 7-1 at home now this year?
Yep.
So continued just it's a fantastic performance. I didn't feel like we played, at the beginning of the game. I don't know how you felt, P, but offensively, we really struggled to start the game, but the defensive effort seemed to be there the entire night, which is pretty much the calling card of a Coach Juan Cardona coach team. It's, of course, if you've been living under a rock, Jay Ladner has some issues, some heart-related issues. All reports that I've gotten is that he is recovering nicely already. But how long is he going to be out? I have no idea. I'm not a doctor, right? I'm just a fan who yells really loud. Does my voice sound better after games like that? Sometimes before shows, I feel like I should just yell a whole lot. I feel like I got a little deeper.
I got a text from my wife that said, "Why are you sad?" I guess on TV because I was just kind of I don't know. I feel like everybody around us was going nuts, so I felt like somebody needed to kind of stay reserved. So I guess I had that role tonight. I was just kind of in shock by some of the calls, so I think I was a little more reserved tonight, but I'm not sad. It was just kind of mind-boggling at moments.
Update us on a few comments, P, if you can, and then we'll get to some stats and get some fan reaction.
Braves clips over on YouTube. Thanks for watching on YouTube. We appreciate you. Refs making lose my hair at age 20. I know what you mean. See all this gray? Completely understand that.
Dash is making an appearance.
Ted, what's up, man? Glad you're out over on YouTube as well. Good to be back in the chair. And Chris over on Twitter.
The clown sign. That's the best sign of the night. I had two signs. So my wife made one sign that said lad pad. Right.
Love it. Yep.
And the other sign, what did it say? Coach, we love you. Something like that, Anyway, and so I thought we did pretty good sign wise. Well, Gary, that sits about 3 rows in front of us right there in section G,
Yeah, right on the
I
wall.
saw him just holding up one of so when they called that section the dunk corner, right?
Uh-huh.
We've affectionately rebranded it as the G spot, which I think is better. But anyway,
Correct.
it's been called the dunk corner forever. So every time we dunk one, he puts he hangs these D's up, right? So he kept showing the D was pointed at us, and there's something else on the other side of the D. So for the longest time, he's holding it up right to the ref.
Yeah.
It's like, what does that say? And so we kept yelling at him, and finally he turns around, and he just has the word clowns.
It's
He
great.
just showed it right.
I mean, great.
Fantastic. Get to some of these stat lines from the game.
Dude, the thing that sticks out to me before we go down the list, I mean,
Yep.
50% from the three for the Eagles. I mean, that's great. And
9 of 18,
honestly,
I see that. Yeah, nice.
You know, the field goal percentage was kind of up and down there for a little bit, but you know, ending at 46%, I'll take it. A little too many turnovers.
We almost had as good a field goal percentage from 3-point range as we did from the free throw line.
Yeah, those last six kind of hurt our percentage there.
They did. Well, and on on the same token there, one of the 3-pointers that I guess we took to shoot 50% was Crowley just throwing it behind his head from the corner right there with 3 seconds on the clock or whatever. So, but yeah, Pete, go ahead if you can and take us through some of the stats from the game. I know that Crowley had a really good night.
Yeah, I'm going to do team stats and then we can jump into individuals. But so team, like you said, we shot 46.3%. ODU is 41%. We were 50% from the three. They were only 30%. I think that played a big role. And they just could not make a lot from the outside. Free throws, we were 19 to 32. Those last few were tough. Rebounds, we had 43. They had 32. Big difference there. 10 offensive rebounds for the Eagles. They had 12 steals, so we turned the ball a little bit over too much. We had 5. We had 6 blocks, probably a little bit more than that, but you know, some were called fouls.
Sure.
So total turnovers, we had 17. They had 9. Points in the paint, they had 34. We had 30. They did take it to the basket a lot, and they ended the game with 20 fouls, and we had 16. Largest lead for the Eagles was 11 at one point, and then that got dwindled down to 4. I remember we were up 11, and then they went on a 7-0 run to cut it to 4 points, and I think that was as close as it got. I think Crowley made a couple of threes there, and then their largest lead was 8 at one point.
You know, Crowley did. At the end of the game, kind of go Kobe Bryant a little bit, you know. And I remember as he's shooting the shot early in the shot clock when time was on our side. As soon as he goes to shoot it, we're like, no, yeah, right. It happened like 4 times.
Yeah, it did. It was quite hilarious.
Which is very Kobe Bryant like. So that's the kind of Crowley that we need. And looking at Kobe's stat line, I mean, 30 points. 11 of 21 field goals, 5 of 9 from 3-point range, 3 of 6 from the line, which is kind of weird. But if you're going to have a bad night at the foul line and still score 30, I'll take that. He also goes double-double, 30 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. That's a nice line. There's another player who had a double-double, Victor Owaku, 12 points, 11 rebounds, 5 blocks. He's such a block machine. Like you said, there's a couple more that were called fouls.
Yeah.
That on the replay, at least the replay that we saw in the arena, completely all ball.
Yep.
So,
and the 16 points from Ivory. I mean, Ivory goes 3 of 7 from the field, makes 1 of 2 3-pointers, but goes 9 of 11 on free throws.
I was about to say it was a very quiet 16 points, but when you look at the 9 of 11 free throws and 8 rebounds.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, with everybody that we have down, we had 10 players on the bench total.
Yep.
We almost had as many
10 dressed out.
Yeah. We almost had as many coaches and other, basketball personnel as we did active players for this game. But on nights like that, when you can get 12 and 11 from Iwaku, 30 and 11 from Crow, 16 and 8 from DI.
Yeah.
That's people.
And Mo Arnold in double digits too.
And yeah, don't forget about Mo.
Those two threes he hit were great.
Come up clutch with 3-pointers. And just has this knack of taking it to the hole. He's so good with the basketball. I try to get my son to watch him all the time. Like if you're gonna watch anybody out here, watch Mo just dribble. You know, his shots a little bit flat, so maybe don't do that. I'm just kidding. But anyway,
no,
Michael Jordan had a flat shot, and he did great with it. But
it's the amount of hours or the amount of games that he's played. You can tell he's seasoned, knows what to do with the ball. And then I love that little shot he gets in the paint and kind of lets it go and floats it. This is a great question. Going back, Braves Clip said, kept seeing old ref look up in the stands, rolling his eyes at someone. Yeah, it was comical.
And the Popo was up in our section as well.
Yeah, a little aggressive.
There was an incident.
A little too.
There was an incident where there was a hot dog flung onto the court. It did come from Section G. It did not come from me.
Did not come from me.
And I will never rat out who threw it out. You can't do that. You just can't. I mean, we all want to do it.
At least it wasn't a golf ball.
Right. But it was it was so bad. Referee was just so bad. They did. I want to say they made up for it late in the game. They really just started calling the game right.
Yeah, they did get better.
They did get better. That's all you can ask for is to improve. And they improved.
Here's a question from Jeremy Burke. How many plastic souvenir Southern Miss cups are in the cabinets at your respective houses?
Well, I'll tell you this: there was a lot more before I got married. Because I was that guy way back in the day. You remember when people might have saw me walking through the stands after football games at the Rock, stacking up these cups.
Yeah,
I was that guy, straight up walking out of the stadium like a server at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah. Well, the first year I went to the Masters, there was some guys that were doing that on the way out because we got rain shortened, and they were like collecting cups, and I'm like, "What are y'all doing?" And then I got back home and was like, "Man, I'd love to have some more of those cups because they're awesome." But I don't have a lot. I feel like we went through a great purge, and I pretty much drink out of.
It's one of those things that I wish I would have kept up. I wish that and like fraternity shirts from back in the day. I wish I had all of them. Yeah. At the time, I was like, "This shirt's old."
I wish I had the old anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
The white cups. You remember with like the ridges in them?
Mm-hmm.
They're like Coca-Cola. Those were so great. I had a ton of those.
So I want to hear some reaction from what you guys thought about the game. Obviously, the referees were bad. We had big time players step up in big time moments, which is what you have to have happen. This is the very beginning of a 6-game homestand. Crowd wasn't great tonight, but we got into it. I thought it was probably our worst crowd of the year. That being said, from about 7 minutes before tip until 3 or 4 minutes after tip, the crowd doubled.
Yeah.
When I first walked in, 15 minutes till tip, I was like, "Yikes!" Not great.
Well, look, I didn't get there till literally 4 minutes before tip. I think as I got to my seat, it went dark for our intro, so I was late arriving as well.
Right.
So and there's midweek games. I don't unless you're
us.
I guess yeah, or eating dinner at like 5. It's kind of hard to get there. We did have a couple more comments. Just hope both teams have fun. I think that's Corey. Said must have been somebody with money because hot dogs ain't cheap. Yeah. It wouldn't be if you can look at me and say I'm not going to throw a hot dog on the court. So the cop came over to ask me. I'm like, bro, look at it. It's a hot dog. I ain't releasing.
What was that cop doing at the time? I mean,
he was very aggressive. which is unnecessary.
It was. And I'm like, you going side piece in the arena, bro? I mean, whatever. It was unfortunate. But the Eagles did pull it out. It's great to be back home. So Saturday is that? Do you have the schedule pulled up, P?
Yeah, I can. Just
Okay, so I know we're playing. That's part of the Sun Belt versus MAC challenge,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and we are playing Western Michigan. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know anything about Western Michigan. I don't even know how this thing works. If anybody that's listening right now wants to let me in on the secret about how this challenge works, why do we play them? Are they ranked at like the same spot on the in their standings as we're ranked in our standings? Is that how you match it up? Because it wasn't announced until lately. In fact, my tickets that I have still say on the ticket
TBD.
it says, I think it says Sunbelt MAC Challenge on it.
Okay.
Whatever. So I don't know how we ended up doing it. I wish we could just forfeit. I wish we were kind of joking around with this a little bit. We played a lot of the guys tonight. Coach Cardona, boy, he did it. In fact, after we get done talking about this, we'll talk about how Coach Cardona coached the game because we didn't know how that was going to go. But we were joking on Saturday. Do you just kind of wave the white flag a little bit? We need rest so badly.
Yeah.
That do you just not risk? Nobody else can go down.
Yeah.
You can't have another player go down, especially somebody like Di or Crow. It's getting to the point in the season where this game honestly doesn't mean anything. It's not like one more win and we're going to get closer to 30 where we get an at-large bid or anything, right?
Right.
This game means absolutely nothing. They have to rework the way they do this challenge. I'm not a college basketball guy, so I don't know if other conferences across the country do the same sort of thing where they play one game and then 2 months later, when everybody in the world has forgotten completely about the MAC Sun Belt Challenge, you have another game.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
The week before, you decide who the teams are going to be. Logistically, that's got to be a nightmare.
Well, that is like I was looking, I guess, something online. I saw like the women were playing Buffalo, so like our ladies are having to go up to Buffalo, New York after
Holy Moses.
So they're in Atlanta. They played Statesboro. They beat Georgia State tonight. They're taking a charter to Buffalo, New York to play, and then back. It's crazy. I mean, anyway, Western Michigan is.
Hey, who doesn't like Buffalo in February?
Yeah, got to be gorgeous. 8-15. They're 2-9. They've lost 4 of their last 5. ESPN has us at a 77.6% matchup predictor. Yeah.
So do you start like Tate, Alfonso, Armstrong,
Hall,
and Hall?
Yep, that's what I was.
As your starting 5.
Yeah,
it'll play 40 minutes. Get after it, boys.
Yeah. Here's a good question. Corey, we actually did talk about this, Corey, in the stands. Who's the next man up if Cardona gets tossed?
I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I'll definitely get tossed. If I can get tossed from the stands of a 7-year-old All-Star World Series game, I think I can get tossed from the sideline.
Yeah. You could do it. I believe in you. Jeremy Burke chimed in and said apparently it's from net rankings from January. I guess that's how they seed it. I don't know. I don't understand the net. I think ESPN just makes up different categories to rank people. Some good stuff coming in. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Did you hear? Yeah. Did you see where Lafayette lost tonight? They lost.
Did they really?
To Texas State. Texas State.
Okay. Huh.
Yep.
Interesting.
And no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. That's wrong. App State. I'm saying App State lost. Who was 10-1 in the conference. They lost to Texas State tonight. They only scored like 56. You know, they averaged like 80, 84.
Do you have an update on the Sunbelt rankings? Sunbelt standings?
Yeah, let's do it.
While you're looking that up, what I'll put out to the people that are hanging on here with us is I was wondering before the game. We all know that Juan is a basketball guy. We all know that he's the defensive coordinator, as Jay calls him. But, finding out kind of 24 hours before you, or not even 24 hours, I guess before the game starts, that you're going to be running the show, the in-game decisions to be made, when to take timeouts,
Right.
when to sub guys out. I mean, all the things that he never really has to do. He just focuses on his part of the game. I thought he did fantastic.
Yeah.
We saw a ton of substitutions early because Crow got 2 early fouls, right? We saw Armstrong get in there. We saw Ryder get in there really early.
Yep.
We saw Izzy play just a ton of minutes, and it's got to be a matchup thing. I don't know. But not that it didn't work. But the point is, the moment wasn't too big for Juan at all.
No.
I do think that the team wanted to win for Coach Ladner big time.
Yep.
And, I do wish the crowd would have been a little bit better for that moment. It did get better and it did get louder as the game went along. But if we're being honest here, it's probably the weakest crowd that we've had the entire season. And that's going to have to pick up a little bit. But, that's how Southern Miss rolls. We lost 3 games in a row.
It's Wednesday night. It's Wednesday night, too. Wednesday nights are tough.
Wednesday night games are historically bad because you can go down to where Pilo goes to church and there's 1 million people there on a Wednesday.
There is. There's
nothing wrong with that at all. I'm not trying to say that, but it does hurt the crowd at Reed Green just a little bit. That being said, Saturday, I guess we can go ahead. Well, you know what? We can try to get a winning streak going on Saturday. That would put us, if we can win Saturday, that would put us at 8-1 on this. Who was our loss? Our loss was North Dakota State. Is that right? Jackrabbits
at home
early in the season. They had Farva knocking down threes.
Yep.
So hopefully we can continue the hot streak. Either that or just play all of our bench guys.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather watch that.
Yeah.
The nasty bench.
The nasty bench. So looking across tonight in Sunbelt action, Troy beats Marshall. So they go to 11-2. So then now they're sitting in the lead because they were tied with App State. App State loses to Texas State 56-63. James Madison over Arkansas State. No surprise there. South Alabama wins big at home 78-65. Louisiana, they did lose over Georgia Southern.
Okay.
And Georgia State wins over Louisiana at Louisiana 78-69. So that's pretty rare. Louisiana only had 30 points in that second half. Georgia State had 48. So they kind of go crazy in that second half.
Georgia State can score.
Yep. And Monroe picks up over Coastal. So
Georgia State's a very, very scary team. I just don't think I don't feel like Georgia State has very good players. I feel like they have a really cool system and they have okay players. But if they had really good players in that system, they'd be tough, bro.
This is a good comment. Let's see, from Go Eagles. I wish we had more Jeff Armstrongs on the team. His hustle made a difference in the game. I agree.
No doubt.
That turnover late was massive. I mean, he subs in, gets right there, and forces that turnover.
Another thing that Cardona pulled off, right? In the middle of free throws, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
First free throw shot, get Jeff in there. Second free throw shot, something happened and fumbled around. He just finds himself in the middle of everything.
Yeah, shortest guy out there probably.
Whether it's a loose ball in the middle of the court, and not to mention that he had a huge three.
Yep.
And during the game, toward the beginning of the game, at some point, he had a humongous three. So yes, I agree. I had more Jeff Armstrongs on the team. I wish we had more Jeff Armstrongs. They were like 6'7". but I will
Yeah.
take as many Jeff Armstrongs as we can get, no doubt.
So looking at the standings, we
Mhm.
jumped 2 places tonight. We jumped
Wow.
Louisiana and Marshall. Well, we haven't. I guess we're tied with Louisiana, so we were both now at 8 and 5. And Marshall drops down to 7 and 6. So we jump
Wow.
ahead of them. So we go from potentially a tie for 4th to a tie for 3rd. So potentially, what the
Well, this
conference
is
is it the
just
top
like that.
4?
The
So
top four get double bye.
top 4 get the double bye. Okay. So we are
Mhm.
sitting in that 4th spot right now,
Nice.
tied
That's
with
very good
Louisiana.
news.
So that Louisiana game is going to be huge.
Okay, now, do you know if anybody's playing tomorrow night? How close are we to being completed
Yeah.
as far as that might take
So
a second to look up?
no games tomorrow. Everything was Wednesday. Yeah, and all of our games it's are against the MAC on Saturday. So no conference, in
So
conference
we're good.
games. Yeah.
Golly. Dude, I'm really thinking long and hard now. What would if this was a road game?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would even tell Curly to make the trip.
To Western, just stay at your
Yes,
house.
just don't even go.
Yeah, sleep late.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see. I mean, yeah, surely not. I mean, so like we said, all reports for Coach Ladner are positive. Of course, we don't know. We aren't there. We're not him. So
Yeah,
we want to know all the ins and outs. But if surely he's not going to be back, in 2 days. Although from what I think he will be back before the end of the season. Which at first report I was like, no way, no way you come back from heart issue. But I do think that he will coach on the sideline again this season for the Golden Eagles. I do not think it will be Saturday. That being said, I wonder how Juan's going to approach that. Not that Jay is not in his ear a little bit. That's something to be said. I mean, is this what Vegas knows? Is this how Vegas pulls off whatever the spread is? Does Vegas already know what we should know? I feel like we should be insiders.
Vegas is violating HIPAA. I guarantee you. There's a HIPAA violation in there that Vegas knows more than we do already.
Yep.
This is a good comment for Jeremy. That's exactly what we were saying earlier about Ivory's game tonight. I mean, it was quiet, and he had 16. Of just a lot at the line, and the dude is just lights out at the line, 90% on the season.
When he misses a free throw, I feel like it's got to be like one of those situations at the fair where there's an oval rim or there's no way he can miss. He's that money.
Yeah,
and that hairdo he had tonight, man, the cornrows or whatever. How do you refer to that? That's money too.
Yep.
All the guys, man, they were zoned in. Our guys were just ready. You know what? I don't think we're going to lose that game tonight. With Ladner, with coming back home, with having 3 games lost in a row. Is that not kind of the Southern Miss thing of all time?
Yep.
You know what? Do whatever you want to. Pull up in your fancy bus. We're about to whoop that ass. But that's just how Southern Miss rolls. So
worst nice to see of the year, and we still get through it.
So good.
You would think for one night, could we catch a break?
I would like to. I wish that it was possible that we could get one of those refs on this broadcast just for 5 minutes to say, "Look, man, I don't even want to. I'm not gonna, boo you or call you names like we do in the games, but I just want to know what happened. Are you really? Are you really that bad? I guess." I mean, you can't ask it that way, but when a ball bounces directly on a line, or when our Victor Iwaku one time went to the hole, hit by 3 different people, and fell on the floor, and there was no call. He didn't just fall over. There was some contact. We can all agree on that, right? I would like to hear what they had to say about no, I didn't see contact, or that contact didn't count, and then later on. When Mo just touches someone on the elbow with his pinky finger. That's obviously a foul. So
Tiki
I don't.
Yep.
I don't get it. I wish that I could be that bad at my job, but I can't. Because they get paid no matter what.
So, oh yeah, they don't care. They're still getting that check.
Boy. And those are three. Those are three guys that I'm a little less familiar with tonight.
Yeah.
So you have to go a long way for me to sit back and go, you know what? That's the worst I've seen. Right? It's just,
yeah, I mean, I was coming from Conference USA. I swear they literally train refs in the football leagues there. They literally take them from flag football to Conference USA first season refs. That's saying something. I mean, I feel like we've regressed in the officiating as far as basketball for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. Well, you know what? Getting ready for baseball season and all that. So we do have a huge show coming up on Monday night. It's the show that everybody looks forward to. We'll go ahead and let it out of the bag.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Rick Maddox, the Southern Miss baseball guru and newly appointed president of the Dugout Club, will be joining us on Monday night.
Yep.
So
it's gonna be a good one.
Probably won't go for live for that, but it's gonna be great. It's one of those that I think I like a lot because I don't have to do any preparation.
Yeah, you hear very little from us.
Here's what you do when Rick comes on. You say, "Hey, Rick, baseball." And he starts, well, a catcher, we got this, and at third base,
exactly.
But he doesn't miss anything. He doesn't. When Dustin and Sutton were on this past week, I asked them in the quick hitters section over under one game Rick Maddox is going to miss this year, and Sutton said over. Dustin said under, but they all agreed that he might not make it to the start of every game, but he will be at every game. I'd like to ask, you know what? Here's what I'm going to ask Rick. How many hours of your life have you spent at Pete Taylor Park?
A lot. Because the games
I have no idea how to begin to quantify that, but
he's in the roost like before just about everybody. And he's usually there pretty late. Like as far as leaving. So, man, yeah, it was one of my favorite episodes before I got the opportunity to join, and then last year being a part of that show with him was awesome. And yeah, it's one we look forward to. I've already had people ask us, when is the Rick show? It's happening.
Same.
Monday.
Like, what's the deal?
Night.
Where's the show? Like, okay, we'll do a show every week, but whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
All year for this one guy to come on. Cool. Anyway, that's all I got, man. Look, thanks everybody for. If you have any more questions on the way out the door, fantastic. I know we're up late. Thank everybody for tuning in, and
sure.
Please come by and see us in Section G. We will be there on Saturday as well. I might be a hair late, bro. I might be a hair late, but Jack's got this basketball league that he's in. The team forfeited. We're supposed to play a game at 10 o'clock in the morning. The team forfeited. So our coach was like, well, you know what? We're still going to practice. We're like, that's cool. And we're going to practice against another team at 12 o'clock. I'm going,
wait a minute.
Anyway, so it's a practice. I'm going to leave it up to Jack. If he wants to go, great. I'll be at the game. I might be a little bit late. I might do my Rick Maddox coming in the game. Like,
what sport is this?
Basketball.
Okay, basketball. Okay.
Yeah. It's basketball season.
Gotcha.
And every other season because nothing stops anymore.
Exactly.
All right. Update us on all of the rest of our comments and let's get out.
Yeah. Let's see. We did have one from Eagles. Like I said, we're going to put them all on here. So, yeah, we've got to get Izzy a little bit better handle on the ball. He's working hard.
Boy, that is a conundrum right there, isn't it? We all see the same thing.
Yeah.
I also wasn't positive if he could dunk it until you saw Coach Juan come down the sideline after he missed the little 4-inch layup, and he hit himself in the head, right? Because he knows he shouldn't have missed that. And Coach Juan got up in his grill and was like, dunk it. And we were all yelling the same thing from the stands. And the next time he got it, I'll be damned.
He
kind
did.
of brought the house down. So
Yeah,
he's still learning a little bit. I agree. I guess my answer is I agree. I don't understand why he is that way, but I do think he's getting better. And he has, obviously he does something right. We run the offense through him several times. We run plays, these pick and rolls, where every single time it happens, he sets the pick up top, we roll, and the first option is they look to Izzy every time. So I can't imagine them doing that if he looks bad in practice, right?
Yeah.
So he can be a huge difference maker. But you're right, he's still got a little ways to go. So we'll see how that pans out. Maybe that's good that he's getting a bunch of playing time right now. It can continue to get rid of those butterfingers. So
yeah.
Any more comments?
Good friend Steve, North Shore farmer, said Eagles win at home. Yeah, ready to see him in the Roost. I'm ready to see the Roost family. It has been too long. You go from like seeing these people multiple times a week for what, 4 months, and then we like go about the rest of our lives for the rest of the year. And then we all get back together again. So shout out Roost people. I am super excited that we're almost at that time.
Yep. Well, good deal. That's all I had. So if you can't tell, we are officially sponsored by Mugshots now.
Yeah, we are.
Go buy Mugshots, eat some burgers. Now we have talked about the peanut butter burger on here. Do you have a favorite burger from Mugshots, P?
Oh, absolutely. And for the longest,
I hope you don't pick mine.
It was formerly the McDonald. It's McDowell. It is essentially the barbecue and the ranch with the red onion. It is
okay.
I would put that against.
Dude, that does sound really
burger.
Good. So, I'm Stu's Magic Mushroom Burger.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Always have been. Yep.
I'm not a mushroom person.
Not that I haven't branched out, because if you want to branch out, that's the place to do it. But it's hard for me to get away from it sometimes, because honestly, I can eat it twice. I can eat half of it and have a beer or two, and then put the other, take it home, like play some golden tea or something for a little bit, then take the other one home. Then I have a little late night snack. That's how big the burgers are. It's good. And that Hawaiian bun or whatever. We have to get a better tagline for it. We were talking to Cliff today, and I was like, send me some copy. And he was like, just go with it. so
I saw him tonight. I saw him tonight at Fuzzy's.
Okay.
He had his crew in there, and we were chatting a few minutes. But yeah, I can remember sitting in the OG Mugshots, and my brother's 2 years older than me, and I think I came up to visit him one weekend. We went there to eat, dude. The first time I had that burger, I was just like, game changer. Yep. The bun,
very good.
Insane.
The bun makes a ton of difference. That's for sure. All right, man. That's it. That's all I got. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in on this live feed, and we will see you guys on Saturday at Reed Green Coliseum. Game starts at 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
So try to get there about 15 minutes earlier. So just so you can get that anthem in, and you can get, you go ahead and get all your snacks and everything and get to your seat. So I'm not freaking out like I was tonight when there was like 15 people there when I first walked in. So thank you guys for joining us. And as always, Southern Miss
to the top.
I could play for Alabama, USC,